G'day folks, it's the Meeple Monkey here again with another unboxing video for you, and this one's going to be for Marvel United, but it's nothing's come out yet recently. We don't have the Spider-Geddon stuff yet, but I do still have something I hope you'll find pretty exciting as well. At least I find it really exciting, and I hope some other folks will as well. A while ago in the Marvel United Multiverse Kickstarter campaign, there were lots of different voices clamoring for different heroes and teams and that sort of thing as well. And on the Marvel United Discord, there were a bunch of folks who were calling for a particular team that piqued my interest, and I really liked their argument for why this would be a great team. And so I thought I'd introduce those. So essentially what we've done is this team of folks on Marvel United Discord, we sort of got together and decided to sort of homebrew and come up with our own rules and that sort of thing. And I eventually decided, you know what, I've started building up some of the skills to sort of make some of this homebrew stuff myself. So why don't I see if I can make some cards for these guys? And that's what I've done. So let's just introduce. I'll just pull up, if I can get my phone working here. Alright, I'm just going to pull up the introduction here. So here we go. Given powers and intelligence far beyond those possessed by other members of their species, 5 animals, a lion, a dolphin, an eagle, a bear, and a kangaroo, were forged into a team by a brilliant scientist to become the champions of the animal kingdom and Earth's most unusual defenders. No longer like other animals, but also not human, they struggle to find their place in man's world after the death of their creator. Marvel presents Brute Force, and that's what we have today, guys. Brute Force. We finally got a full deck of cards for these guys that we can use. That intro that I got there, that's from a new, I think it's on Marvel Unlimited, the app there where you get lots of sort of digital comics and stuff, and they've just released like a kind of a limited run, or like a, what do you call it, like a mini series for Brute Force. I think it's part of their Infinity Comics range or something like that. So, but yeah, if you look them up, I'm sure you'll probably find them on the Marvel Unlimited, I think it's called. But yeah, so we've got a full deck, so we'll open these up. We're going to do a unboxing, I guess it's an unboxing, an unpacking of these cards here. But before we do, I just want to quickly give a shout out to these folks on the Marvel United Discord that helped bring this to light. So the original drivers of this were a couple of fellows named, I believe it's fellows, Demon373 and Matteo Beano. And these were the two that were sort of banging on about them the most, I think, back in the early days of the campaign. And I really liked the passion they had for Brute Force, and it certainly piqued my interest. So yeah, these guys really sort of were the catalyst for it. But there were lots of other folks sort of jumped in on the way, and when we sort of decided to put together some rules for them, a bunch of these other folks helped out as well. So most of the rules on these cards I think came from Matteo, but I know there were some others that sort of that helped out with this as well, but I've just kind of lost track over the course of things exactly who came up with which rule and that sort of thing, so I'll try and give some credit where I can. But so Matteo was sort of the driving force, I think, behind the rules here. Another very helpful person, AddictedUnravelled, I think, helped out by putting together a spreadsheet that we're able to put our ideas together in, and I believe AddictedUnravelled also put a bunch of the ideas for rules down as well. Then now all of these other folks helped out in various ways with the rules, or just support and suggestions as well. So there was Whole Milk Wazowski, the champion of Spot, and I'm glad to see Spot. Milk, you got your Spot hero or villain eventually as well. We had Askanison, who I think provided a bunch of new artwork as well, like gave us like some extra sources of art, like showed us where to find more variants of art for the team as well. We had CtrlxZ, Kinstryfe, Bluezi, Lukey19, who's helped us with a bunch of other homebrew stuff as well, and also the champion who put together the tabletop simulator mod as well. So huge luminary in the world of homebrew there, Lukey19. I think Mossfan as well, Azaryo, and I can't forget ErikRPG, who was very vocal about supporting them during the campaign as well. So thank you to all those guys. Apologies if I've missed someone out that was also involved. Feel free to sort of leave a comment or something and let us know if you were one of the champions as well. and I can even sort of update the list as well. And I also want to give a shout out to xnellynelx, who's one of the homebrew designers who's working on a bunch of stuff like Marvel United, One Piece United, and My Hero Academia, and the Castlevania show. But I've taken a bunch of, when I sort of was putting some of the rules together for these guys, I took a bunch of inspiration from some of his rules as well. But there you go. Anyway, that's the shout out. Let's get into the actual unboxing. So hopefully you've put up with that now. So let's see if we can get into them now. This will be funny if I can't do it on camera. Ooh, I think I've pierced my way in here. Have we got I'll have to edit this. Okay, there, with the magic of technology, I've managed to get through it a little bit further. And so here we go. Let's check them out. Now again, apologies to all those folks who were helping out with the rules. I sort of had to sort of pick it up and sort of run with it. So if some of these rules aren't exactly sort of what you had in mind, you know, unfortunately I sort of had to pick and choose from a few different ideas and stuff there. So, but hopefully they sort of do them justice for you. So we've got 4 heroes. So we've got the Dolphin, Dr. Echo, okay, and they actually have some alternate names too across different editions of Brute Force. So this, you might also know Dr. Echo as Surf Streak as well. And I'm considering maybe doing some alternate cards for these guys so they have their different names. But I think the Lion has always been known as Lionheart. So we have Boomer, also known as Hip Hop. He's the kangaroo, and in fact, Boomer and Hip Hop, I'm not sure which version goes with which, but I think has been portrayed as a female character and also as a male in different sort of versions of the comic. We have Wreckless the bear, so they're the 4 main heroes there, and we've got some rules here as well. So we'll go through these. Well, this is from something else I've been working on. I just happened to put them in the same print run. So we've got those there, and we've also got, now there is a 5th member, and it's quite fitting because he's kind of got a big head and you know, thinks he's the boss sort of thing. But Soar the eagle, it's kind of funny that we've made Soar a companion, a pet companion, rather than a fully fledged hero. So controversial, but I think it's kind of funny that Soar got relegated there. So let's go through them. Let's have a look here. So the cards themselves, actually, before we do that, let's have a look at these, because what we've got here are some brute force sort of challenge or rule cards here. So you can see here, yes, that is Deadpool, and he is forming Voltron with the members of Brute Force. So that's pretty cool. Now what we have first of all here is Vehicle Challenge Mode. So each Brute Force hero has a special effect card in their deck with the keywords Vehicle Mode. To use the Vehicle Mode challenge, simply apply the special effects of these cards. This will make the game easier. So essentially each of the heroes has a vehicle that they can sort of transform into, which makes it quite powerful. So if you want to use those cards, just be aware that it's probably going to make the game easier, essentially. But what you can always do is take out the wilds, I guess, different levels of the wilds if you want to as well. But even, I know there are a lot of people that play with the wilds removed anyway. So if that's the case, then, and you really like to have a hard challenge, this vehicle mode might not be for you. However, if you would prefer a greater challenge in your games, okay, it says here simply treat the special effect boxes on these cards as blank. So you can essentially use the cards, but just not use them as special effect cards. And here I've just got this option here about taking out the wild cards as well. So that's the vehicle challenge mode. Now the vehicle challenge mode plays into this other challenge mode, which is the Voltron challenge. So now this one, I've said that you need 4 players to use. I guess technically you could house rule it and play with less, but since a lot of people tend to like playing solo, multi-handed, or playing with friends and stuff, I feel like this gives you plenty of options to use this as well. But the Voltron challenge is you need 4 players plus the 3 vehicle modes, and essentially what happens is as soon as all 4 vehicle mode cards are in the storyline, then you form Voltron. So you replace the hero with the latest vehicle mode card, so the last hero to put down the vehicle mode card. You replace that model with the Voltron model, and then you remove all the other brute force models from the board from wherever they are. So essentially the last model turns into Voltron and the rest get removed. Now what happens there is all players will now share the Voltron model, so they each have their own decks, but they'll share that model and can use the special effects of all vehicle mode cards in the storyline, because essentially these vehicle mode cards are all sort of like, as long as this card is in the storyline, you have some ongoing effect. So the benefit of forming Voltron is that you get all of those ongoing effects together, so it's quite powerful. Okay, and it goes without saying that the Voltron challenge probably makes things even more easy than the regular vehicle mode challenge, but it's also a bit of fun, and I guess there's some downsides to it as well, but you know, it's designed to be a bit of a wacky sort of fun mode. Players continue to use their own decks of hero cards, and the order of play is unaffected, so the order of player turns, you sort of still keep taking your turns with your own decks, you're just sharing this one model. Now, if any vehicle mode card is turned face down or removed from the storyline because of different effects or whatever it might be, you immediately replace the Voltron model with the brute force models all in that location. So they don't go back to where they originally were, they just all go back in Voltron's location, and essentially that represents Voltron sort of being blasted apart sort of thing. And then you have to sort of continue as normal characters. The rules continue here. While in Voltron mode, all heroes are considered separate targets for enemy attacks. So even though you've got the one model that you're sharing, each hero is still considered a separate target. So for example, if a villain attacks the Voltron's location and it targets one hero in that location, then the players choose one of the heroes to be the target, not every single hero sort of forming Voltron, so just one of them. So it's like, you know, he gets hit in the arm or he gets hit in the leg or whatever it might be. If the villain attack targets each hero in the Voltron's location, then all the heroes will be targeted. So that's like a big hit that hits the whole Voltron sort of thing. The heroes are not considered to be alone in their location for any effects that might sort of refer to things having to be alone. Yep, and then the last thing here is, if a hero is KO'd in Voltron mode, lie that hero's model down next to their deck as a reminder that they are ignored by game effects, so they're still KO'd, but do not lie down the Voltron model. So the Voltron model itself stays in game, only that, you know, one hero is actually KO'd. Now, if all heroes are KO'd in Voltron mode, then the heroes lose. So even in normal missions where all the heroes being KO'd at once doesn't cause like an instant loss effect, this is like an extra loss effect if you're using Voltron mode. So just something to bear in mind. And I guess the other downside of being in Voltron mode is that you go down to only having one model, so you can't cover as much of the board. Although you become quite powerful and versatile as that model. So yeah, anyway, so it's not super legit or super I guess, you know, super duper balanced, but it's good fun. I've tested it out. It's pretty fun, and you know, you don't always pull it off because it relies on that one card in every deck sort of coming out and being in the storyline at once, sort of thing. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun. So if that sounds like you'd like to sort of try that out, that's a couple of extra sort of fun modes you can use with these guys. Let's get into the actual heroes themselves then. So we'll start with I think the leader. I guess it's debatable who the leader is. I mean, Soar would tell you he's the leader, but I'm going to go with the Lion. Excuse me. The Lion, especially in the recent comic that I read, he seems kind of like the leader. So we'll have a look at his cards here. So this is the back of the cards here. That's what they look like. So pretty cool. And I got these printed at a place called Make Playing Cards, I think it is, makeplayingcards.com. And yeah, they were pretty easy to use. You know, put the files in and that sort of stuff nice and easily. And so this, yeah, I'm sure there's lots of other places you can get this sort of stuff done, but that's where I got those done. They'll also be, I'm putting these guys up on the Fandom Marvel United wiki page within the Homebrew sections there. So I've built the page for Brute Force. I haven't actually built the individual pages for the heroes yet with the links to the files, but I'll be putting those up. And in the meantime, that you can access the files in the Marvel United Discord as well, where all these guys are. All right, so let's have a look. So Lionheart, he's got Brute Force Attack. So that's his card here. So give a movement, heroic, or a punch token of their choice to each other hero, and they don't have to be in the same location. Plus, it gives a star here. And the theme with old Lionheart here is that he's kind of like, he's the leader and he's very brave and heroic, so and courageous sort of thing. I think what was it not Tenderheart, was it Braveheart? What was the name of the the Care Bears, with they had the lion guy, thing like that, but a little bit more ferocious. So yeah, he's kind of like the heroic leader sort of thing. So he's got a fair few heroics throughout his deck. He's got a fairly good amount of attacks, though, through his special attacks and through his actions as well. Then he's got this one here is, and sorry, there's two of those brute force attack cards. We've also got the there's a time for lambs and a time for lions. This allows you to do 3 punches, and if you defeat a henchman this turn, look at the top card of the master plan deck. You may place it on the bottom. So this is him essentially like interrogating the lackeys, interrogating the henchmen here. So, and interesting to note as well, because it's 3 punches within this special effect, you can't use these punches spread across different locations. You've sort of got to use these all up in one go, which helps you sort of take down a henchman if you can sort of catch them with this much health left, sort of thing. So, and that gives you a bit of a movement as well. Then we have a move and so you can see the spread. He's got a move and attack, another move and attack here, and another move and attack. So that's 3 move and attack. So you can see a fair amount of attacks there. He's got an attack and a star. He's got a single star, another single star, and I'll just show off this art a little bit more. There you go. There we go. And then here's his vehicle mode card as well, and you can see there's his wilds. Yep, so let's have a look at this vehicle mode card. So they've all got one of these as well, except for Soar. So motorcycle vehicle mode. Alright, so you could just use this as a single movement if you want to, but if you're playing with vehicle mode, this also says as long as this card is face up in the storyline, gain 1 punch action each turn. Now, big thanks to, I think it was Matteo who helped us out with this one, because I had originally said each of your punches sort of does double damage this turn, and that was just probably a little bit too powerful, especially once you became Voltron. So this is already pretty powerful in itself, so there you go. So, apologies if you think these guys aren't balanced or whatever it is, but, my advice would be try them out and see how you feel after that sort of thing. So there we go. You probably still agree, but anyway, yeah, I really like that picture too of his cool cycle. All right, and I think they have these suits that actually help them transform into their vehicle. So it's actually the suit itself, sort of with nanotechnology or something that's like transforming. Now let's have a look at Dr. Echo or Surf Streak. So he's the dolphin, so you can see there's old Surf Streak or Dr. Echo. And so he's kind of like the strategist of the team. So he's got a sound strategy. Another hero can swap 1 card from their hand with one of their cards in the storyline, or if that's not sort of like optimal, or you don't have the right cards out or whatever it is, then you can always use it for this effect instead. Give another hero a wild token from the pool. Okay, and also gives a punch there, and I think I've done one of these with a punch and one with a heroic there. So that's Dr. Echo's sound strategy. He's got 2 of those. Then I like this one here. I love this art. Short Arm of Justice. Now this one is completely clear a threat in your location, and to clarify with this as well, the henchmen do count as threats. They're a type of threat, so I guess you could use this to take them down as well. But you do have to be in the location to trigger that. So very powerful card. Yeah, pretty fun. So there you go. Then he's got, and is that the only one? Yeah, that's the only one. Then he's got a movement, a punch. I like that art there too as well. It's pretty cool. Then he's got his cool little race car mode. So this is, as long as this card is face up in the storyline, once per turn you can move to an adjacent location. So you get like a free little movement boost there. So you can see if you've got Voltron mode happening, you've got that extra movement, plus you've got an extra punch each turn as well. We've got movement and a punch here. We've got another movement and a heroic. Another movement and heroic there. So you can see he's fairly heroic as well. That's Dr. Echo. And I like this art here, Scary Dolphin, and that's his wild there as well. So that's Dr. Echo. Let's check out the bear. Alright, so now I think his name is actually Bear in some of the versions, but also Wreckless. So he's got this one here, Bear Hunt. Move clockwise 6 locations and remove 1 thug from each location you enter. Now notice this is not defeat a thug, it's remove a thug. So he's rampaging through, quite powerful, but it doesn't count towards that mission as well. So you've got to bear that in mind. Oh, see what I did there? Bear that in mind. All right. Okay. Laughing at my own dumb joke. All right. So yeah, heroics. He has a couple of those, and heroics are at the bottom of each of those. I'll just show you the art on the back there as well. So there we go. Now this one's a fun one as well. Wreckless by name, reckless by nature. This gives him 3 punches, which you could sort of, use other punches with as well. And it says any unused punches deal damage to reckless instead. So he goes berserk, but sort of at risk to his own safety as well. So that's kind of a fun one as well. He's got the movement there. So dishing out a lot of damage, but there's some caveats with this damage that he dishes out. And then his vehicle form is the tank. So he has, as long as this card is face up in the storyline, you ignore 1 damage every villain turn. So this, again, you can see teamed up with Voltron. Means Voltron's moving fast, attacking pretty well, and also has this sort of inbuilt sort of sturdiness as well. So, and that comes with a punch there. I guess he's firing the cannon or something. Then we have a single punch. We've got a single star. You've got a move and a heroic there, and we've got a move and a punch, and 2 punches and another 2 punches. So you can see he's not super maneuverable, but he does have a lot of punching power there. And there's his there is his wilds, so it's pretty cool. I don't know if I showed this, held that one up long enough. Let's have a look at that. I like that one there. He's smashing a car. Alright, so let's have a look. We've got one last member of Brute Force, a fully fledged member. Over here we have Boomer, or Hip Hop. So this is pretty cool here. Probably one of my favourite moments in the new comic is a moment with Boomer and Wreckless. So yeah, definitely check that out if you can. So I don't want to give any more spoilers away because I accidentally did that on the Discord. All right, so we've got Ain't No Kangaroo Jack. All right, so this is move, punch, but specifically in that order, and it also gives you an extra movement. So you can sort of bounce around, bopping a few thugs here and there, or henchmen, I guess, or even the villain. And he's got 2 of those. Then he's got Pardon My Feet. So this is, you may change any one of your actions this turn to a movement action. So he comes with these 2, and then whatever you've got from the previous hero's card as well at the bottom, you can substitute one of the symbols across that spread for a movement, to sort of give you the movement you need to activate some of these. So that's pretty cool. Then we've got the ATV. I like he's sort of jumping away from the explosion here. So this one here is, as long as the card is face up in the storyline, you may use the end of turn effect of the location, even if it is covered by a threat. So this is essentially, the ATV kind of like lets you sort of get around terrain and that sort of stuff. So I thought this is sort of one for helping you sort of get around places and stuff. So that can be quite a useful, but a bit situational, I guess. So yeah, that's a cool one there. And then he's got, I think from memory, I've given Boomer a lot of movement here. So 1, 2, he's got 2 movement there. He's got a punch and a, oh, sorry, I'll just show you the art there. A punch and a heroic. There we are. And another punch and a heroic. And a movement and a heroic. And this is a cool card. I like this picture here. Then he's got his wilds. So very cool. And now let's have a last little look. The last little thing we're going to check out is Soar. Yep. Okay, so Soar is a pet companion, and so my understanding of the way the companions work is that you just simply take, if you want to use companion, you just simply take the deck of 3 cards, shuffle it into your cards of your hero, and essentially you can only attach them to one hero, and then essentially you have the little model for the pet as well, and every turn for free, when it's your turn, you get to move that pet around the place, so you get to move at one spot, and then if the pet's cards come up, they'll often trigger off where that pet is located, but whatever actions are at the bottom of the card that you've played count as actions for your hero. So your hero still has a turn, but the special effects will probably leverage the pet model, essentially. That's my understanding of it. So if that's not correct, then I've built this this character wrong, and we'll have to sort of revisit it. But anyway, here we go. So this is Soar. So you can see here, this one says, so each of these have a little statement at the top here. This is I see everything, but a little statement underneath here says, Soar may move twice this turn. So essentially, in a normal turn, when you don't have, when you're not playing a Soar card, then you can move your Soar model once, or like at one location, I should say. Whereas if you choose to play the Soar card, then Soar's model can move twice instead of moving once. So that just helps you sort of like get Soar to where he needs to go, sort of thing. So this one allows your hero to play a heroic, but it also does this. Look at the top card of the master plan deck. You may place it on the bottom. Okay, so now again, this one doesn't really rely on Soar being in any particular place. It doesn't sort of trigger off, you know, being in the villain's location or anything like that. But this effect is just, I thought it would be just consistency, and also, you know, it might help you set up Soar for being in the right place for a subsequent turn or whatever it might be. So that's what this one is about. Then we have Just a Bird. So this is where he's like, just a bird? He's got a bit of a Napoleon complex. So this one says Soar may move twice this turn, and also it lets you do 2 punches in Soar's location, in addition to giving your character a movement plus whatever you've got from the previous hero's turn. So this sort of lets you have a turn. It's almost like having a turn with your character, and then Soar kind of has his own little mini turn where he gets to move twice and punch twice. So there we go. And the last one is I Need a Lift. So this is where Soar comes in and picks you up, and I think he takes you towards the enemy. Let's have a look at this. Soar may move twice this turn, yep. Then move Soar and any one hero in his location to any other location. Yeah, so this lets you can move Soar twice to hopefully get to the hero you want to pick up. Then you can pick the hero up and move them anywhere you want, and then the hero still has a punch and whatever they've got left in their previous hero's cards to attack the villain, so, or, you know, whoever you're attacking, sort of thing. So that's the idea with this card, is it sort of like it lets you get your hero to where you want to be, sort of thing. So that's Soar's card. So hopefully this was the one. I think most of the other decks were, I tried to sort of like use Matteo's or the other guys' ideas for the special effects, and just sort of filled out the actions at the bottom of the cards as best I could, sort of thing. Whereas Soar, I think I've sort of deviated a bit from what the original idea for Soar was. So if you guys sort of like felt strongly about how you wanted Soar to work, you know, let us know, because we can always sort of make alternate versions, I guess, and that sort of thing. You know, feel free, anyone's free to sort of kind of, you know, do their own take on it as well. So that's pretty cool. But this is just what I sort of came up with for this guy. Apologies if some of these were actually already what you guys had written in the spreadsheet. I can't really remember, but anyway. So I feel like I had to do a little bit of changing of some of these, I feel like. So there you go. So that's Brute Force. So pretty cool looking team, I think. So let's put them up here so you can see them. We've got Lionheart, we've got Dr. Echo, Wreckless, we have Boomer, and we have Soar. So I'd love to get these guys to the table soon. I might even try and see if I can squeeze a little game in tonight or something like that. We'll see how we go. But yeah, if that sort of has piqued your interest, Brute Force, they're a good fun team. Definitely sort of check out the comics on Marvel Unlimited, I think it is there. Yeah, really excited to sort of get these guys in the mix and fighting some other Marvel United stuff. And there are some cool sort of villains and stuff that are sort of unique to the Brute Force sort of world as well. So that might be, you know, another project down the track, is to sort of come up with some ideas for the villains. I'd like to do like maybe a multi-villain battle with Adam Frost and is it Adam Frost? I think. Yeah, I think it might be Adam Frost and his rival team called Heavy Metal, which are like the rival animal team sort of thing. They'd be pretty fun to play against as well. And there's a new villain in the new comic. I don't want to spoil things too much, but yeah, a new pretty cool villain that would be pretty cool to come up with a scenario with as well. Well, there you go. And if you're looking for models, at the moment I'm going to use my kids' little jungle animals. So I've got Lionheart sorted. I've got a dolphin. There we go. We're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here. We've got a polar bear he's close enough, and I've still got to look for a kangaroo and an eagle. So, but that's what I'm using at the moment. But hopefully you guys might have some better stuff. But hopefully this has inspired some homebrewers out there, or if you've never done homebrew but you've got a really favourite character you want to sort of see come to life. Yeah, lots of options out there for making it come true yourself, sort of thing. So. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. Anyway, Meeple Monkey out.